Let me select the door tool again. And then if I enable tag on placement, here you can see some tools in option bar. The first one is horizontal, vertical, and model. We are specifying the adjustment of the tag. I want to make you an example to show you how it exactly works. I slant this part, well done, then door, tag on placement, then as you can see the tag is displayed horizontally. If I set it to vertical and then I add the next door, then you'll see the tag vertically. But if I set it to model, then it places the tag based on the position of the model. However, model and horizontal are both similar, but let me select this to change the angle by this way. But in the continuation, I will talk about these options too. Don't worry about them. Again, I select model and then I click on tag. Then loaded tags and symbols will be disappear. Then you can search for the category name search. I search for door. And then here we got a model tag that we can click on load, and then from annotations, architectural, watch this, we can add more tags for the door, but the only one here is this, so we do not have a different tag that we have to create it ourselves. However, some of the categories and the elements got some symbols that you can load the symbols for them, like slabs, that you can specify the span direction for the slabs using loaded symbols. Again, I search for door. Here we got this, which is the only option and the default option. But if you wanted to load a new one, you have to select it and then click on OK. And then if I check leader, let me show the result when disabled. The tag will be placed on the door, but if I enable leader and then defining the distance, then there will be a distance separated by the leader between the door and the tag. For example, if I specify 30, then I click. If the tag places outside of the annotation crop region, let me show the annotation crop, and then I resize it and sees since the leader is outside of the annotation crop, it is not visible. So as such a condition, we have to resize the annotation crop in order to cover them all and make them visible. So don't forget this point. Again, I select door. After that, I can minimize the distance and then adding the tag with the leader. Watch this. Then you can add it wherever you want and wherever you got doors. I uncheck leader. And if you select the door which got tag, then you will have some options. For example, you can change the adjustment, vertical, horizontal, model. You can add or remove the leader. And also, you can set it to free end, then you can move it by click and drag or attached end. Then it won't be moved. In free end, even you can separate the tag from the door. Let me again attach the end to the door like this way, as you can see. Let us get back to this part. Watch this. Then here, as you can see, we got these three doors that their hosts are the same. Here in add or remove hosts, you can click on it and then adding more doors and then associating only one tag to multiple doors or hosts. Watch this. And here, as you can see, the specified value in the tag is varies. It means that their values are different. Since, as I told you before, the value of the tag works with mark, and since mark is totally unique, we cannot have the similar values for them, so the tag is varies. Then I select it here in leaders. We can merge the leaders, or we can minimize the number of points, or just hiding the leaders. Watch this, we got only the tag, or we can choose to show the main one, or choose to show all of them, or we can customize their visibility. For example, I want to show the center one. If I click on select all or select none by this way, again I want to show all of them. So in the leader tab, you can control the displayment of the leaders, which has been added to the new versions of Revit, and it is too functional. Let me delete these vowels. Great. And also the other tags, as you can see. However, I delete some of the redundant doors. You can also use match properties. For example, I can select this door and then I match the properties of these two. That, as we talked about match properties before, match properties only works out when you are applying the match properties upon similar families or upon similar types. Well done. Let us move on. Again, I select the door in this part. And then after selecting the door, watch this. Here we got some parameters in. Let me close these two views temporarily, like this way. And then here I need 3D view and the plan view. The first one is level, which indicates the level on which this stance is placed. And since here we do not have level 2, it deletes it, as you can see. And for the sill height, you can specify the height of the sill in relation to the level on which this door is placed, and changing this value doesn't change the instance size. And note that we are changing the instance properties, not type. And here we control the sewing angle, and this is just shown as a sample only for 2D views, not 3D, by this way, as you can see, 45. So it does not work out on the 3D objects or elements, as you can see. 45 degrees, here is the result. And the next item is frame type, that you can specify actually a value as a data. And let us move on. Here in materials and finishes, we got some values. For example, here if I type wood, then let's check it out for this. For example, for this door, I'm gonna type glass as an example, or the next one, metal. This actually does not affect on the materials, but we can use it for reporting the data or information using them in the drop-down menu. But we specify the materials in edit type, and we can attach an image to this door that you can use it in the schedule. For example, here we got a door which is a simple door, but if we want to display the door in high details, here let me search for a door in Google. Let me see. Door interior or interior doors. For instance, samples. Check it out. I choose this one, and then I want to explore the images. Suppose that I choose this one. Watch this. Let us check it out. Here, as you can see, we can check out the door in different angles. Here I right click to save the image as. Let me specify the file path indoors. Check it out. Door O1. I make a copy of the file path and then I close the window. Then I select the door and then I want to attach the image, clicking on add. Watch this. I have attached the image. Then, its main function is in schedule. In view tab, schedules and quantities. Then, if I search for the category of the door and then I want to schedule it, I click on OK. However, we will talk about scheduling the categories. We specify the parameters, type, and also the count. Check it out. And then the width of the door, also height, and the level, and also image. Very well. Then as soon as I click on OK, here we got a sample of the image. Then if I click on sheet, then I create a new sheet. Watch this. Then if I click and drag the schedule on the sheet, you'll see the attached image, which is wonderful and helpful in presenting your products. And note that point that here we can change these parts. Watch this. You can use the schedule table for changing the types of the doors by this way. Or we can attach new images to our new types. Check it out. We got access to the entire data in the schedule table. Again, we get back to the plan view. 800s for the type, 700s, and 900s. So, by this order, we can control these doors, and also we can add a command or specifying a mark that, as I told you before, mark is totally unique. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we cannot repeat 5 since each of the values are unique. As you can see, elements have duplicated mark values. But right now here, if I click on OK, then we'll have a door that its mark is duplicated. So we have added a warning message, but we prefer to remove the warning messages and not to just deal with them, okay? In the following sessions, we will talk about phasing, and from this part, we can control the phases. As you can see, that I don't want to talk about them now. And here we can export our file as IFC type, and also here in file export. Then we will talk about IFCs later. So don't worry about them, guys. We will cover them all. And then in head height, which is related to the top part of the doors, let me show it in the section view. And then I want to add the dimension at the top part. Watch this. And then I select this. Watch this. 2100s but 2155 because we got the head height here. Watch this. This is the head height. Here if I specify 100 in cell height, then we can control the value of head height. For example, minus 100. Watch this, the head height is decreased. We're done with instance property.